G'day, cunts! Welcome to episode number 51 of the Greencast. I need to mute my Facebook, and I am not editing that out. Boop. There we go. Welcome to the Greencast, episode 51, blah blah blah. Yeah, fucking bro, that immediately threw me off. Yeah, you know the rest. Podcast, I'm a madman, rambling in my bedroom, blah. What a fucking start. I don't care. I'm leaving that in, bro. It's content, I guess. But if you haven't already, please go listen to the last podcast I did as well. I honestly think it's one of the favorite podcasts that I've done on this channel. It was whack as fuck, dude. If you haven't seen it, I'll give you a quick summary of a pitch to go watch it and listen to it. Basically, I met this dude called Robert while I was in high school, and been half following what he's been doing online, because, you know, just stayed in touch through social media. And noticed he was posting stuff like a light code and all these weird symbols that, like, literally, like, reminds me of, you know that one scene in Transformers 1? You know, the 2008 one with Sam Witwicky? Yeah, you remember the scene where Sam Witwicky goes nuts because he gets the Transformers, like, language stuck in his head? And then he writes all those weird, like, symbols all around his room. Yeah, that's pretty much what I saw when I walked in. So already I was like, oh, okay, what the fuck? And also just, like, a lot of the other stuff, and went down a rabbit hole, Google searching his, like, spirituality and stuff. And I'm like, bro, I need to get this cunt on a podcast, holy shit. And it was a whack. I talked to him for, like, an hour and a half, maybe, if that. And, yeah, if you want to go down that fucking rabbit hole, go check that out. But, yeah, speaking of rabbit holes and going down stuff, I've got a few good topics here to talk about. So I don't know if it'd be a longer sort of podcast. I always sort of say that when I'm like, I've got a lot to talk about, and then it ends up being like 30 to 40 minutes. But I feel like a lot of these I can ramble along for a while. So I guess one of the first things to talk about is, you know, my goals for 2020. Should I start with that? Or should I start with the other story that leads into everything else? Yeah, let's actually start with the other story, because I think it's pretty funny, actually. So, basically a couple weeks ago at this point, a couple weeks before Christmas, I was washing my car at the front of my house, because my car was dirty as tits. It was dusty as hell, and just all around just needed a wash. And so, I was in the driveway, washing my car, and it was goddamn a hot as fuck day, because Australia's on fire. It's hot as fuck every day. It was like 35, 36 degrees, and I just couldn't be bothered, like, wetting my shirt. So I just had no shirt on, shorts, and also the concrete I found out was hot as fuck. And I also just can't wear thongs anymore. Not the underwear, you fucking dummy-dumb. The shoes, the Australian footwear, the thongs, the flip-flops for all you rest of you weirdos. Because I just haven't worn it for so long that it just rubs on my feet now, and I'm just cursed and I can't wear them properly anymore. So I was looking around and noticed that Dad still had his Crocs by the door, and I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna fucking wear the Crocs, whatever. I don't care, it won't be that long. So I was washing the car, you know, getting the good old pressure hose out, hooked up, you know, getting the soap suds all over the bonnet, and as I'm sudsing down the car, I notice a random girl with her dog walks up my driveway, and I have no idea who the fuck this is. And so I stop, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? And then also the connector that connects the pressure hose to the actual hose itself, like, bursts. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, alright, I don't know who you are, but hold on, I need to stop this water flow. And I'm like, hello, how can I help you? What the fuck? And she just says, oh, hey, so on Friday, I'm going to have my 21st, and you're welcome to come round. And I'm like, we'll see? I don't know. And then she just like, oh, doesn't so-and-so, her stepmother, ask your parents' names, which I'm not going to say and dox myself or my parents. Didn't they tell you about my 21st? And I'm like, nope, my parents are not home, and they haven't been for like 2 months, dude. And she's like, oh, okay. Alright, well, you're welcome to come round, you know, bring a chair and some drinks, and yeah, I might see you then. And I'm like, okay. see ya. And then it like clicks in my head that she's my neighbor from across the road. And I'm like, oh. But then I'm like, and then I have a few thoughts rush through my head. And I'm talking to a couple of my other friends about it as well. And I'm like, one, I've never had any contact with this girl. And it takes a lot of balls to walk up to a random stranger and ask them to your birthday party that weekend. Two, I had no shirt on, was wearing Crocs, and was half wet, bro. What the fuck? What a great way to make a first impression. Three, if she is asking a person that she's never even really had any contact with, she probably doesn't have a lot of friends. And I'm like, oh fuck, maybe I do. Maybe I should go around and see how it is. I don't know. I had no fucking expectation of what it would be. I talked with my friend and he sort of said the same sort of thing. Like, yeah, it takes a lot of balls for someone to ask. I probably wouldn't do that. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll do that. Although at the same time, friend was kind of shitty at the time because we were going to have another meetup of some other like uni friends that I hadn't seen in a while. And I ditched them for a random girl that approached me in a driveway at 21st that I'd never really met. And, yeah, so I went round, and it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I walked in there immediately, and I had a bunch of Pepsi, because I don't drink, in my little cooler bag. And I was talking to the stepmom, because she was the only person I had contact with sometimes. Yeah, she wandered off to go do something else, and I just sat there awkwardly by myself. And there was obviously, like, a group of girls over on another table that were all just, like, talking to each other. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be that random that just sits there awkwardly by himself. And then so I, muster up all my courage, walk over to the table and I'm like, hey, anyone mind if I sit here? And they're like, no, go for it. And so I sit down and I am the only male at this party. And throughout the night, I am going to be the only male there who was not accompanied by a +1. And, yeah, just, like, talked to our friends for a while. Did the whole awkward, like, oh, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And, the girl who actually invited me to the party as well, I didn't really see or talk to that much that night, because she was, like, running around to all the other different people, mostly family. My suspicions were also kind of, like, confirmed. She did not have that many people there at said party. But, yeah, ironically, I actually got along really well with one of her, like, best friends there. And I, like, hit it off really well with her. And, yeah, like, later on, met each other a couple times. I don't know if, like, consider it a date. And if you're listening to this, mon caress as well. Because I don't think I've actually told her. Like, she knows that I do YouTube stuff. And she knows that I'm, like, sort of large at the same time. But I haven't said my actual username. And I don't know if you will ever listen to this, but if you do, well, this is awkward for a start. But yeah, don't know where to go with that. But yeah, anyway, let's just ignore the fact that if she does listen to this at some point, whatever, lol. But, yeah, it turns out that it pays off not to be a socially awkward dummy-dumb and just sitting off to the side and being like, whatever, fuck it. And I mean, the stakes are pretty low as well. The worst comes to worst, I'd be like, alright guys, I'ma head out, I'ma go home, and I'll just walk across the fucking road. But yeah, went really well. Hit it off with that chick, and yeah, I don't know. Hopefully things go well with her and I guess. I don't know, things are looking pretty good for 2020. But I say that, but probably the beginning of the week after that, my parents get home, and then they sit me down, and they say that they need to talk to me. My first thought is, oh fuck, what have I done? What do they want from me now? Am I going to stop chipping in to pay rent? What the fuck's going on? And then they tell me that they've actually signed the contract for a beachfront home 5 hours up the coast from where we currently are. Which basically, without doxing myself, is in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And so far away from everything that I want to do. And they're like, yeah, you can join us if you want, or you can, I don't know, move out with someone. And I'm like, fucking Moncaress? And not to think about it, obviously, but I already knew my fucking answer was I am moving out somewhere, I guess. And I don't really have a choice, particularly. I just don't want to, like, give up my life here. Because 5 hours away, I can't just, like, nip down every now and then to go see someone. 10 hours of traveling a day, I can't do that, bro. And so I'm just like, well, I guess I'm just going to find someone to move out with. And if I am going to move, I'm going to move closer to Brisbane City as well, which is going to be lit. Because that means, I don't know, closer to there, more opportunities to work, especially in the sort of industries that I want to get into, i.e. film, and other potential whatever fucking opportunities there might be. And, like, even there's a bunch of, like, or most, like, film opportunities nowadays are down on, like, the Gold Coast. And currently, it takes me, like, an hour and a half each way to get down the Gold Coast, which, you know, closer, we'll shave it down to hopefully under an hour, which is pretty fucking doable, like, potentially, if I actually do get consistent work down there. But, yeah, I am terrified and excited at the same time to be moving out. Excited in the fact that it's gonna be so fucking great to have my own space. You know, as long as there's only a couple stipulations. I'm moving out with a friend. They might be listening to this. Just a uni friend. Ironically, the first person I ever talked to at uni. Hello, person. You know who you are if you are listening to this. Yeah, it's just gonna be the two of us. It's gonna be pretty lit. My only stipulations, as long as, like, because I also have, like, some of you know, I have a 3D printing business as well. And currently my parents have let me convert another bedroom in the house that I'm currently in into a workshop. Now, obviously, I can't afford, like, 2 bedrooms. So the plan is that we obviously split, but then I also get the garage to convert into my workshop. And he's also, like, a freelancer sort of stuff as well. And he's just like, yeah, as long as I get to cut some shelves to store my shit as well, we're all good. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I'll fucking buy the shelves if you really need me to, man. Fucking hell. So yeah, it'd be nice to, like, reorganize my shit. But also at the same time, it's been really annoying having to sell a bunch of stuff. I had to sell... Oh, yeah, that's one thing I didn't really want to take with me, but also didn't want to sell, but I'm like, oh, I could sell for a good bit. I had to sell my completed framed base set of Pokemon cards, bro. Like, I even had the fucking Charizard. It was a large bastard as well. And, I don't know, I got a decent price for it. I got $350 for it. Which is about the right sort of price for it, considering, you know, they're not all PSA graded. Which I obviously had a couple of retards message me to be like, I need to see the quality of them all before I buy them. Which, fair enough to a degree, but that's not really the reason or the sort of clientele that I wanted to buy that sort of thing. Like, you know... Who doesn't want a fucking framed base set Pokemon cards in their room? Well, not me anymore, ironically, because I can't, I don't have the fucking space for the bastard. But, yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, it'll also be good to then, like, you know, be able to record really any time of the day. As long as I'm not in, like, a fucking unit sort of space with other people. Like, I could scream the N-word freely, or, you know, don't have to time it, because, like, you know... As much as I love my parents, they have very much a routine of, like, you know, having morning tea and afternoon tea, which is right outside my room, and I don't want them, like, listening to me record stuff as well. But moving out, like, obviously the terrifying part, obviously, is going to be, you know, having to fucking pay rent, obviously, because, you know, earlier on, I'm definitely like, oh yeah, my first place, I'd like to, you know, probably put down a bit of money, you know, actually get in the housing market, but now I'm kind of just like, well, Moncaress, don't have a choice, guess I'm renting. So I'm definitely going to try and push myself in 2020 through all of my endeavors, which gets me to my goals for 2020, I guess, which is a long-winded way for me to get here. So, my big goals for 2020, YouTube-wise, I want to fucking get that 100k, son. I want to fucking get that 100k, fucking stroke, 100k vlog for shit posting, my dudes. I want to fucking get there because my channel's kind of stagnated to a degree. So I want to fucking push myself. I'm going to have a new space. I'm going to fucking set myself a schedule, hopefully, maybe. But as well for the future of the channel, my goals as well for that content-wise, I want to get a commentary-esque sort of video once a month. Green text stories, they're not going really anywhere. You obviously probably would have noticed they've reined back a lot. I'm going for 10-minute sort of longer-esque videos, once to twice a week, potentially. And the podcast, for those of you who are still interested in this, and the, 200 of you that are probably still listening to this, and the 20 of you that listen on other audio streams, I'm going to try for, at minimum, bi-weekly or potentially weekly podcasts as well. Because it took very much a backseat as well. And I mean, fair enough, this past couple of months I've also been uber busy trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing with my life, man. This next month and where I'm going to be. But also just been super busy over the Christmas time with all orders and shit. And everything else like that. And it's also just been the same sort of thing, which is oh, I don't really want to record now, people are still here. Or oh, it's kind of later in the night, or blah 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 blah, oh, I haven't uploaded this week, oh, I can't record it now. And yeah, I don't know, I think definitely now that I will have my own space, it'll make it a lot easier for doing that sort of stuff. But yeah, we've currently booked a couple inspections for next week, and looking to literally move potentially by as earliest as mid-January to the end of January. The contract that my parents signed said that they have to sell by I think the end of February, so there'll be a bit of an overlapping there, but you'd want rather an overlap of before rather than after them selling their house, really. I'd be much more comfortable with that. But yeah, it's also going through your stuff in your life as well. I know I immediately just went off topic again. I'm finding a lot of things, especially nostalgic things that I've kept over the years, that it's just I don't want to throw it out, but I don't want to keep it. And it's worthless to no one else. But I don't want to throw it out again. Or even the other day I was going through some of my collector's editions of video games and statues and stuff, and I'm oh yeah, yeet, I can sell some of these. And then I found my collector's edition of Prototype 2 on PS3. I'm oh, okay, this might be worth a little bit. Literally worth $20 on eBay. It's not worth my fucking time at all. And same with collector's edition Black Ops 2. Yeah, $20, not fucking worth it. And I'm alright, cool, well, it has some value. I don't want to throw it out, but I don't want to keep it at the same time, so I don't really know what to do. I mean, we are going to have apparently a garage sale. So I don't know, I might put $2 on them or something, or whatever the fuck, just to get rid of them. Just for the sake of getting rid of them. But yeah, it's just a lot of things. And I think now, I think probably even tomorrow, I'm going to just grab a big fuck off tub and then just get stuff that also is just cluttering up, what's the fucking word? Cluttering up my room that I, don't want to throw out, but might sell in the garage sale? I don't know, we'll fucking see. So I'll have to do that tomorrow. Bit of money condoing my sort of shit, if you if you get what I mean. Yeah, what else did I have here? Or even just general sort of life updates things. Is there really much else to really say about that other than Moncaress? Fucking hell, it's gonna be weird. That's the whole fucking thing too. I'm gonna have to probably backlog some of my content because yeah, I have no idea what the internet situation is going to be, or wherever the fuck I'm going to end up the next, probably this time next month. Bruh, that's such a weird thought. I don't know where I'm going to be living in the next month. Bruh. That's a weird thought to fucking have. But yeah, it also sucks fucking dick, man, that I've spent, 2020? When was I grade fucking that? 2012, I think? 2012. I've been in this house 8 years, and for 7 of those years, my internet's been dog shit. And I've only had 1 year of having good internet. It sucks fucking... Oh, I had 300 kilobyte download speed for so long. Oh, and now I just gotta leave it again. Fucking hell. Oh well, at least, well, that's the thing that I'm pretty grateful with as well. I've been discussing with my parents, especially the past couple of weeks, of like what I can take, and what I'll leave behind as well. Even like the router, I bought that, so I'm fucking taking that, and it's a bloody nice router too, because that was a whole situation that I explained in, long-time listeners of the podcast might remember. When I was doing that overlap, I had to buy a router, and I'm like, well, guess I'm buying a fucking U-Butte one, and I did, and it's fucking great. But yeah, that's coming with me. My parents are letting me take my bed. Thank fucking Christ. I didn't want to be one of those poor cunts sleeping on a bloody air mattress on the floor. So thank God I don't have to deal with that. Obviously my sheets and my bedding. They're also letting me take one of the fridges, which, oh, fucking Papa bless. Thank God I don't have to deal with that shit either. I've got a fridge. The only thing I think we'll probably have to figure out at this point is like a washing machine, probably. I don't think we really need a dryer. We'll probably just throw shit on the on the line, particularly. It's already. It's fucking Australian. Everything's, put it outside for 2 seconds and it's bloody dry, cunt. But even just like for tools wise, I'm definitely fucking set with my workshop. Don't have to worry about, awkwardly have to nail or fix a thing. It's just like, oh cool, no, I have everything. It's fine, bro. But the only things that I really need is like, cutlery and pots and pans and other shit like that. But yeah. Oh, that's the thing I probably wanted to get your opinion on as well. If you do live by yourself or, actually live with any other people, food-wise as well, that's going to be a whole thing that I'm going to have to figure out as well. And probably because, like, I've never really paid rented before, and that's probably where a majority of my money's going to go, I'm not going to have much money for much other things, which food is going to be quite difficult. And what I'm thinking is I'm probably going to have to end up doing is doing a lot of meal prep. Whether that be just going down to my local like grocery store or like Coles or something like that, and buying like a cold chicken or a cooked chicken, and then just dividing it up into just like wads with like rice or some shit like that I can just like grab on whatever the fuck and cook up, or just cook up a giant pot of mince, and then just distribute that and grab that as I need that. Other than just fucking around trying to cook, because I don't think we can afford, like, full-on cooking for ourselves every night. But yeah, if you have any sort of, like, ideas for recipes of, like, food that I can cook in bulk, as well that a white boy could cook specifically, I don't do spice, please do let me know, because I will greatly appreciate that as well, whether that be in the comments or you just message me on Discord or whatever the fuck else. I will greatly appreciate bulk food ideas, I guess. Because, yeah, like I said, at the moment, all I can really think of is, like, mince and chicken? I don't know what else, man. But, yeah, is there anything else, really, that I'm concerned about with the house? I don't know. It's just, like, a lot of them I'm finding as well, and why we're going for inspections, is a lot of these, I'd probably want a garage. I don't think I can really work another bedroom. Because I've fucked the carpet in this bedroom as well, dude. That's going to need to be replaced. There's, like, 6 types of glue and every type of acid in that fucking carpet, man. There's no saving that and steaming that out. And I'd just immediately lose my bond and I'd get fucking evicted. If I did this sort of same shit in a bedroom that I did in this house that I do in a new one. That didn't make sense, but you know what I meant. So I'd probably need to have a garage space. But a lot of the places they advertise garage space as like just a car space, or it's just like an undercover sort of area, which is no good to me because I can't have all my shit exposed. Because I've got like a bunch of like, I've got all my tools, I've got, actual machinery like a belt sander, I've got a fucking table saw that I'm taking with me as well. It's going to be lit, probably a grinder, bench vise, and of course my printers, which are on like a giant 2 meter high by 1.8 meter long shelving, like proper storage shelving thing. I can't have those fucking exposed because people are fucking yoink that, and or just generally exposed to the environment. So it needs to be in an enclosed space like a garage. So yeah, that's half the reason we're going to inspect, and as well, just every cunt uses a wide-angle lens, and it's always good to see the sort of space in person if you do consider moving in. But yeah, fuck, man. I didn't even really consider I'd be moving out until at least a couple years from now. I did not expect to be moving out at 21. And And I know there's definitely some people, like even though there was a girl that I was seeing end of last year, that she had fully moved out, and she'd been moved out by herself, because of like family, and her family's just like, well, you're like 19, off you go. And like, I'm thankful that my parents didn't do that to me, but holy shit, man, it's also at the same time, it's kind of what they're doing. Like, they did offer me, for me to like stay with them and build up some money for a while, but also at the same time, again, like I said, there's just nothing for me down there. Like, the average age of this suburb that they're staying in is 66 years old. And there's like, what am I going to do down there? Am I going to fucking work at a grocery shop for like 6 months, building up some money just to come down here to rent? Fuck off. I'd much rather take the risk moving out with someone that I do know as well, because that's the whole thing. Like, if I wait like 6 months or so, I might not have anyone to move out with, because they're looking to move out pretty soon, and thank God this person answered and said, yeah, I'm looking to move out soon as well. There's no fucking way I'm moving out with randoms, especially with all of my shit. Last thing I need is someone fucking with my printers, or, just fucking with any of my shit. I just don't trust people, man. I don't trust people, especially randoms. So I need them to be someone that I know and I trust to be able to move out with. But yeah, that's why I'm like thankful of like that person that moving out with. Alright, yeah, let's move on from that talk, I guess. Oh yeah, New Year's, but how was your fucking New Year's, guys? Was it alright? Mine was pretty good. It's pretty good. Nothing else to particularly say about that. I did go and see the fireworks down Brisbane River, for the first time this year. Ironically, the girl that I mentioned before, she asked if I wanted to go with her, and I'm like, ooh, okay. Yeah, so I went with her and a couple of her friends, and we mostly just like hung out most of that night and got along really well, and stuff. And yeah, it was just like a pretty fucking like wholesome night, particularly. The fireworks are okay. I mean, once you've seen some fireworks, you've really seen them all. But the thing that kind of annoyed me more so than anything with the fireworks especially, we did like somewhat find a pretty good spot to watch all the fireworks along the river. But as soon as it was like started, I watched fucking like 50 hands around me all suddenly raised with their phones, and my view just got a lot worse. And I just got actually like angry, bro. Like, oh man, there's no one wants to watch your fucking shitty goddamn coverage of the fireworks. You're not gonna watch it later. And if I see that on your fucking Instagram story, I'm skipping it. And so is everyone else. You're not going back to rewatching it. Why are you fucking filming it? Why are you filming it for 10 minutes? Go fuck yourself, cunt. No one cares. Like, holy fuck, man. Like, call me a boomer, but Jesus Christ. Live in the moment for once. What the fuck? That actually, like, made me physically angry, cunt. Holy shit. And I mean, sure, she did it as well. The girl that I was with. But, yeah, you know what? Fucking, yeah, you deserve it too. You're not watching it back later. I can guarantee it. Holy fuck. What else do I have here? Oh, yeah! Insurance is a fucking scam, dude. So, for the past, like, there's like probably about a month ago at this point, there was a point where my legs just felt really shit. I felt really shit. They're a bit sore, is what I was trying to say there, but my brain just went, shit! Yeah, they felt pretty sore after a session, and it didn't really go away, and as well as just my body was just kind of in shambles. And, I looked up some place to go get, like, a remedial massage, where, like, those people, like, aim to get those knots in your muscles out and that sort of stuff. And I was looking around, and I put it in, like, my usual, like, friend group chat, like, hey, anyone recommend any place? And, someone was just like, oh, why don't you, you can claim that on insurance. And I'm like, what if I had insurance? Because, I think I've explained it before on the podcast. Basically, I was covered under my parents until I was potentially until I was 25, if I was still studying. Graduated 2 years ago, so therefore I was only covered until I was 21. So I'm technically uninsured at the moment. So my friend linked me their insurance, which I promptly look at, and then was trying to find. It did have a thing for massages, specifically remedial massages. So I'm like, okay, lit, potentially, maybe this. But I started doing the calculations. So the place that I was going to end up going to was my local gym, which also has attached and does discounts. The first session would be $27, and then I'd do another 2 sessions, which would be $45. Yeah, $45 each. So that would be like, I don't know, what's that? Quick math, like just over $100? $109? Yeah, $109. So the insurance here had a maximum claim of every 6 months you could claim up to $100 from a remedial massage. So that would mean I'd get $100 and it'd be $9 in the hole, but I'm like, okay, that's not so bad. However, to that payment also takes upwards of 1 to 2 months to process. So if within a month I spend $100 on remedial massage, it might take me 2 months to get that money back. Now, the insurance is $30 a month. So to get that $100 back and only be $9 in the hole, I would have to spend another $60. So therefore, I would be only, what's that, 60... Yeah, I'd be, wait, retard moment? Wait a minute, holy shit, I just had a fucking brain fart. What would that be? 60, 40, I'd be $49 in the hole still. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Insurance isn't fucking worth it, man. Insurance is not fucking worth it. It's not worth the fuck around. So I'd pace myself as well with the massages. Getting my last one next week for now, because I'm also moving. Gonna miss that fucking gym. Holy shit, it's literally the best gym I've ever been to, and it's the largest one in Australia. That's the whole fucking thing too, that I've also just suddenly realised. My gym that I love so much, I'm gonna have to find a new one. That sucks dick, man. And I don't think I can transfer to anywhere else, because there's only like 3 in the state. That sucks donkey dick, but oh well. Shit happens, I guess. Life happens. So yeah, that sucks dick. What was I saying? Oh yeah, insurance is dumb and a scam. Yeah, it's also just not worth it for me at this sort of stage. And it's not like I really do any sort of dangerous work particularly anyway, either. Like, I don't, maybe to a degree, like I operate some deadly sort of stuff, but it's not that bad. We have healthcare in Australia, man. I can bulk bill shit. I'm not fucked if I split my finger open or some shit. Or I'm not gonna go into debt if I fucking get an ambulance out. We have Medicare. I'm not totally screwed, bro. What else did I have here? Oh yeah, that was fucking... So, there was a local film that I'm not going to mention. It was an Australian-made film. It was a horror comedy. I don't know if that... Probably whatever. But there was... I knew the production designer of it, and so I went to go see it. And I had made some stuff from him, but I didn't know what the fuck they were going to use for. So I was watching this film, and I don't know if I should really even be saying this, or whatever the fuck, or even if this matters to anybody. But yeah, I was just watching this film in the cinema, and then I see a prop that I made. It was just front stage and center. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute, what the fuck? I technically have. I've made stuff that's made it to the big screen now. And I'm like, holy fuck. What the hell? Some of my stuff has made it to cinemas. Actually cinemas. And yeah, that just fucking I don't know, that just made my day. And I just wanted to share it. I guess. You won't know what it is, because, I don't know, there might be another stage in the channel where I sort of reveal myself, but today's not that day, so you won't know what it is. But it was a 3D printed item, and I will... leave it at that. But yeah, that was fucking cool. Alright, let's get on to the most autistic part of the podcast. And that is, of course, where I answer questions from you cunts. So if you have any topics, questions, queries, or stories that you think I might find entertaining, please do not hesitate to either send them via email if you wish to remain somewhat anonymous on Mr. Green Text on gmail.com. That's Mr. Green Text with an S on the end of that. Just go on my About page, you'll fucking see that. Or just go on my Discord, there's a Greencast channel down the bottom. Throw it in there, and that is about where I'm going to look right now. Excuse me while I stall and try to find some decent questions. Alright, oh my fucking lord, what a starting question. This guy isn't even in the server anymore. Kyle Landsberg says, talk about the newer generation, specifically Z, that have the highest suicide rate. What? I mean, yeah. I mean, bro, social media and whatever the fuck else. What, I don't know what you really want me to say. I'm not that fucking deep of a person, particularly, man. But I think definitely, like, specifically today, people definitely need to be brought up on how to use social media and not to take offense to things and to not take things too personally, especially in like the whole of cyberbullying. But yeah, I don't know much else to say. I'm not that much of a fucking I'm not a philosopher, my dude. I don't know. Let's see. There's a good few comments or questions here about like the fires in Australia, which somehow if you've avoided it, I wouldn't blame you particularly, to be honest, but yeah, basically the fucking entirety of Australia is on fire at the moment, and like that's not a meme. And it's the thing that fucks me off the most is the fact that currently, let me see if I can bring up some stats, because it's fucking insane. And I half said a statistic as a meme, and it was like way bigger than I ever like memed it about. Australia fire statistics. Let's see, 1 day ago. That should be nice, up to date. Okay, so this is just state by state. This is not the entirety of Australia. So New South Wales / ACT, 16 people dead, 140 bushfires still burning, 1.3 million hectares burned, greater than the size of Belgium, 1.3 thousand homes confirmed destroyed. Victoria, 2 people dead, 28 missing, 50 bushfires still burning, more than 780,000 hectares burned. South Australia, 1 person dead, 17 fires still going, more than 100,000 hectares burned, 88 homes destroyed. Queensland, that's my state, about 33 bushfires still burning, 250,000 hectares burned, 45 homes destroyed. Western Australia, 35 bushfires burning, 2 of significance, 1.5 million hectares burned. Tasmania, 23 bushfires burning, 8,000 hectares burned. Northern Territory, 5 bushfires burning, 5 homes destroyed. So, let's put that in perspective. How many hectares Amazon fire rainforest burned? So the Amazon rainforest, when that fire was going on, that was a burn area of 906,000. Let's see. 1, 2... Yeah, at least 2 states of Australia has already burned larger than the Amazon rainforest. Collectively, it's literally like 6 or 7 times bigger than the Amazon rainforest. And it's just, I don't know why it's not getting more coverage. It's so fucked, dude. Some of the worst crisis Australia has ever fucking, like, had. It's so fucked. I'm fine, for all those who are asking. Thankfully, I'm more in, like, a suburby sort of area, sort of away from forests, and, potential of getting fire damage is pretty much 0 in my sort of area. But yeah, it's so fucked, dude. Especially just, like, how little coverage it's gonna get. Some people are starting to catch on now, but yeah, man, it's just so fucked. What else do we have here? Samurot10, who is a YouTube legend, says, what are some odd pets you have had in life? The only particular odd pet that I can really think of off the top of my head was that I had... What are they called? The little crabs. Hermit crabs. Yeah, I had hermit crabs at one stage, and that was fucking lit. I added Krabby and Kingler, because of course I did, because I was highly into Pokemon at the time. And yeah, they're probably the most weird ones. I'm pretty sure they just, like, I don't know what the fuck, I think I forgot to feed them and they just, like, straight died. But yeah, they're probably the weirdest. I don't know. I only literally got a dog for the first time until I was like 12 or 13. Or something like that. Yeah, other than that, I haven't really had too weird of stuff. And the rest are just dumb fucking memes looking at this. So, yeah, I think I'll call it there for this week's podcast. Yeah, if you made it the whole way through this whole fucking 40-minute podcast, please be sure by letting me know by including the word fire in your comments. How fucked do you think of these Australian fires? Have you ever dealt with bushfires? Please help me, I'm on fire. I don't know, if you include that in your comment, I'll be sure to know that you've actually listened to all this, and I'll give you a little heart as a little compensation. But yeah, that'll do it for this podcast, guys. You know, everything else I said, I can't remember. It just leaves my brain immediately. Yeah, my name's Jeff. Catch you later. Toodaloo.